Hello everyone and welcome back to Budget Hero Academy. My name is Jonathan and we discuss everything about personal finance and building wealth in this community. Super cool. Today we are going to discuss paying off a maxed out credit card. If you have a credit card balance of $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, it can seem overwhelming. But if you use these 5 tips, you can get out of debt. So first is strategy. Second is you can either save more or earn more. Attack the balance, the true cost of interest, and then starting with good habits. So then you can obviously avoid getting back into debt in the future. I'm excited to jump into it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's jump into it. All right, number 1 is strategy. So stop using credit for 90 days. Guys, if your credit cards are maxed out, adding more won't do you any good because you're gonna be drowning in interest, payments on top of your normal money, obligations. So that's number 1, 90 days. If you have to literally cut up the cards for 90 days, that is what you should do because you want to show the bank that you're not constantly maxing out your credit cards. Credit is kind of like giving you a bowl of candy right in front of your face. The bank wants to see if you're going to eat the entire bowl of candy and always ask for more, or if you're fine having that candy, maybe taking some, but always replenishing it. That is the point of credit, is giving you responsibility and seeing how far you're going to push the boundary. So if your cards are maxed out, not a good sign. 90 days, don't use them. Number 2, get on a monthly money plan. Now that is another way of saying a budget with a couple other steps. Budget kind of has a cringy thing in my mind where I don't typically like using that word. So you want to jump on a monthly money plan and you want to figure out how much debt you have smallest all the way to largest. Now a lot of you have 3-4 credit cards and there's $15,000 spread across the 4 credit cards. Very rare that you just have one credit card and that one credit card has $15,000 limit on it and it's maxed out. So for those debts, you want to list them smallest to largest. And then from there, you want to find what your weaknesses have been on those credit cards. So during the 90 days where you don't use credit, figure out, what do I typically spend money on? Is it electronics? Is it Amazon? Is it buy now, pay later systems that I have to then try to catch up on? Really figure out where your holes are in your bucket. And I really like that example because when you plug those holes, your bucket's going to be whole again and you're going to be able to build wealth after seeing what got you into this mess. If I gave you a check for $15,000 and paid off all your credit card debt, that wouldn't solve the symptom within. And that's the most important piece to solve, is how you got into that mess and how we won't do it again. Next is figuring out how to actually pay off this debt. Now there are 2 ways fundamentally. With your income, we're going to use the example of $60,000 a year or $5,000 a month. Now super cool. You can either look at your monthly money plan, which we've already talked about, and you can figure out a way to earn an extra $500 in your budget where you can free up space by canceling subscriptions, paying less on eating out, cutting back on your groceries or lifestyle while you're paying back this credit card debt. Or if there is absolutely no room in the budget, that's okay. We can pick up an extra job a few nights a week and earn an extra $500. And that's how we're going to pay off our credit card debt. Now, with the debt snowball, it becomes accumulative. So when you pay off the small credit card, so let's say your first credit card is $2,000 and you free up that monthly payment and that cash. Now you can pay $700 towards your next credit card balance. Get rid of the second credit card, and then the third credit card, that one, let's say it's at $4,000. You attack every single step until you get to the largest and last credit card. With that being said, let's just use the example that you have to get another job. There are many examples of different things you can do. You can drive for Uber, you can do Lyft, you could pick up a pizza job delivering pizzas, you could work online as a phone call representative, you can try to sell things in your house, but you need to do everything and anything possible to earn an extra $500 a month towards your credit card. And the reason why is psychologically, that's going to change something in your brain. It's going to say, this is important, I should do this right now, and I need to put everything to paying off this debt. For a $60,000 a year income, if we do the math, $15,000 divided by 500, that's 30 months. If nothing changes, you will be debt free. We'll call it 30 free. In 30 months, you're debt free. And from there, you can actually start building wealth. Now, over those 30 months, some things to keep in mind is always paying your debts on time. You want to make sure this isn't affecting your credit score, because eventually when you go to buy a house, buy a car, if you need that credit, you want to be able to have that at your disposal. On your 4 credit cards, you always pay the minimum payment every month. Don't miss any payments. Once you start attacking that small one, put the extra $500 towards that small one. After 4 months, that's paid off. Then, this is what's cool, is the $100 payment that was going towards the first credit card, we now use that $100 towards the second credit card. So now you're putting $600 towards that second credit card. That second credit card, let's say it's $3,000. Now you're able to pay that in roughly 6 or 7 months. So now that second credit card is paid off. And then once you compound that to the third one, in 30 months, you can see how this might even take you less time. And if you find yourself, oh, I don't know if I can do this, you can. It just takes a little bit of patience. And this is the patience that once you learn it, you can use that for the rest of your life. True cost. What is the true cost of an item? Now, most people buy an item and don't even think about it. And it doesn't even feel like you're really buying an item on Amazon when you're just using a card, because you didn't give anyone anything and you just get the packages shipped to your door. You get to unbox it, it's like Christmas. I'm guilty for it as well. I love Amazon, but I always have a space in my budget for Amazon because I know that I typically don't go shopping. I just love online shopping. So I'm guilty for it. Now, some things to avoid is to leave the balance on the card because we're not actually calculating the true cost. If you pull up a cost calculator, let's say you bought an item for $1,000 and you paid off the minimum balance every month of $50. So that was your minimum payment every month. It would take you 2 years and 2 months to pay off that credit card. You'd be paying $273 over the course of those 2 years and 2 months just for that item. So that item that you thought costed you $1,000 actually costed you $1,273. Wow, that's crazy. That's just with one item. Now let's do a second example. Let's say with the $15,000 in credit card debt, you kept it for 5 years and 7 months and paid the minimum payment every month of $400. On average, for a 23% interest rate, by the end of the loan, you would be paying $11,726 in interest over 5 years. You would almost pay double. If you have had credit card debt your entire life, that item that costed $1,000 probably costed you $2,000 or $3,000. That is unreal. If that doesn't frustrate you, I don't know what does. And this is why this video is so helpful, because if you just do the debt snowball, instead of paying $400 a month, you find an extra $500 by cutting your lifestyle or earning more. You could significantly trim that down. You can buy the house you want. You can get ahead and save for retirement and pay off your cars. This is only the beginning. The next and last step is don't play games. Play games. The less you play games now, the more your future is going to thank you. Now, with that being said, $500 a month doesn't seem like much. You're like, man, if I earn an extra $500, I could be enjoying my evenings. I could be hanging out with friends. But by doing the work now in your 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s, you're paying off debt. It will thank you later. Every dollar of interest you save is a dollar extra for your family. It's a dollar extra for when you go to the grocery store. It's a dollar extra for when you go on vacation or have to retire. This is a big piece of the consumerism that it's totally fine to consume. But that credit card, the soonest you get those paid off, the better. And to be clear, I'm not against using credit cards. I'm against having a balance on the credit cards that keep you in the slave trap of constantly making the next payment every billing cycle. So if you enjoyed this video, we're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers in the first 3 months. If you like this type of content, I do release a few educational videos every week based on personal finance and topics just like this. So click the subscribe button and stay tuned for the soonest video. We'll see you guys next time. See ya.